Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Wednesday night. Things feel very off to me, and I've felt this for a while, but the feeling is intensifying. It feels like something big is really coming, and it's going to come soon. More on that in a minute. Hold on, just put a pin in that. A couple of quick things here. Mrs. Dawg's channel is having a slight name change. It was called Mrs. Dawg, but it has been changed now to Mrs. Dawg's Homestead. So I will have the link in the description. Now, if you're already subscribed, you'll still be subscribed. It'll just have the different name, Mrs. Dawg's Homestead. Just a slight change, all right? And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and check it out. Again, I'll have the link in the description of this video. And if you like this video, hit the like button. It helps us out. All right. I've noticed, too, that airlines, 2 or 3 in the last 2 weeks, have grounded flights. I know this week, earlier, I think it was either yesterday or the day before, it was United Airlines grounded their flights temporarily in the United States. Might have been North America. I know United States was involved. But the reason they said was equipment failure. Equipment failure, right. I mean, okay. We'll never know the real reason, I guess. But it makes me wonder what's going on. Is it cyber attacks? Is it something else in the air? Something that we're not even thinking about? And my last video talked about a young man that we saw that was very unstable on the roads. And a lot of you were commenting that you're seeing similar. And, I think this is going to increase sharply. And I believe it'll be the norm. I know in some places that I work, it's pretty much the norm. I see it every day. It's almost to the point where, well, that's another one. That's another one. And it's like sometimes it's the same person. So, hey, there he is again. And it's really sad, but it is happening. I think we have a serious mental health crisis in this country. Probably you can just lump North America in that. So many drugs coming in, and I won't even get started on the border, but it's just it's sad and wrong on multiple levels. Okay, I will move on from that. Back to the title, what I wanted to talk about. I do feel like something huge is right on the precipice with us. Okay. And is it just a United States thing? I don't know. It could be, you could put Canada in that, probably, most likely, or even Europe, Western civilization, the globe. But what will it be? And a lot of people are talking about this. A lot of other content creators are talking about this. I've heard a lot of you say similar things. What is it? What is it going to be? It could be a combination of things. It could be one thing. I listed a couple of things, well, several things myself here. And I just believe between now and the end of the year is when we will see something, experience something. It could be another health crisis scare, like we had back with the CV back in 2019, 2020. It could be that 2.0, or worse. It could be a climate thing, climate shutdown. That's been talked about. It's being talked about a lot. It could be a combination of the two. Who knows? It could be a financial collapse. And I'll go into more of that here in a second, but my goodness, things. I mean, it's unreal. It could be an event that we're not even thinking about, something out of left field that we haven't even mentioned that could come in and just turn things sideways in a hurry. You wake up one morning and be a different world, all right? We need to stay aware. We need to keep our head on a swivel. Let's keep our eyes open, pay attention to what is going on, and really keep aware of things that are happening in our community, local, as well as around the state and the globe, really, as much as we possibly can, and keep preparing. Okay, I'll go more into that in a second too. The mainstream media keeps ramping up the stories about the health crisis, about the virus that is supposedly getting worse. more hospitalizations, so on and so on. The WHO was talking about it. So things are ramping up as far as the chatter on this and in the media, especially them MSM. All right. You hear about schools nationwide, across the nation going mask mandates. As far as that, I know there was a system in Texas. There was somebody in Maryland, I believe. You got elementary school kids wearing masks. I mean, good grief. Uh, I believe if they do this, try this, this lockdown thing that they did a few years ago, and if it's something like it was that last time, I think it would be a fatal blow to our a final blow to the economy because it just affects it in so many ways. Unemployment, the supply chain, society in general. It's been proven that kids do not learn uh, near as well online than they do in person. It cuts socialization out. I mean, it's just so bad. It's just so damaging on multiple levels. You got fear. I just saw this story article last night, I believe. Fears of a global pandemic soar. A new mutant strain of a virus discovered in China. Now, this is in Chinese poultry farms, a subtype of avian influenza. They say it's going through mutations that could increase the risk of widespread human transmission. Now, that's like an avian influenza. Now, they're calling that H3N8. And I just saw that last night. So that's just, let's put that on the pile of other articles and such that are just coming out about health scares right now. So just with all the volume of all that, it makes me believe that predictive programming, we're being set up for something to strike. Okay. Financial. You have financial collapse that comes on suddenly. It's banks. We're not sure about the banks as it is. If you remember back during the original, back a few years ago with the shutdowns, how the Fed just threw out money like candy. And I think it helps set up this issue that we're in right now with student loans. They put student loans on hold. You had stimulus checks being thrown out there. Child tax credits were paid to parents for over 6 months. Unemployment benefits. People were getting unemployment benefits that were paying them more than when they were working. I mean, where was the incentive to go to work? I mean, we knew people that were, I think, over a year, they didn't work and were getting paid more than when they were actually getting a paycheck from that job. I mean, and so things fall apart. I mean, humans are humans, right? I mean, they didn't have to pay rent, didn't have to make house payments. So this sugar high eventually came crashing down and prices skyrocket and people are in trouble. And I think we're seeing a lot of the results of that. I mean, you got crime waves going crazy. You got auto repossessions at all-time highs. You got Americans are defaulting. I saw this today. Americans are defaulting on credit card and auto loans at record levels never seen before. I'd read somewhere too, the credit card debt, the debt is in just in the United States with Americans at an all-time high. It's over $1 trillion. I think we are in the midst of a silent depression. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So that's another thing. So we have several different things here working. And I'm not even going to the border thing, man. I mean, and that's kind of part of all this, but you could have people, well, and I believe this could well happen, especially within the election cycle. I think you're going to have a lashing out, and I think it could be really ugly. I think you could have a lashing out of somebody, some unrest going on, maybe more than some, and that could get really ugly. And I think it could actually be something that hasn't been seen here in a long, long time. Maybe not even since the late 1700s, if you know what I mean. So again, we need to keep our head on the swivel. Let's keep preparing. And I know I say that all the time, but it's easy to get a little complacent and say, well, I got plenty of stock. I got plenty of things stocked up. Dog, I got water, I got food, I got personal protection. I have, I'm keeping gasoline in the tanks of the vehicles all the time. I got a little extra stored up. I've got solar this and solar that, recharging. I've got charcoal, propane, oil lamps, you name it. But take some time and look through your stock, look through your provisions, see where you may be a little lacking. We all are at times, and let's bolster it up more. Okay, I think it's a good opportunity to do what we can to bolster our immune systems as well, because I just have a feeling something health related is going to pop up here and just really rear its head. I think a lot of it is psychological. However, it could always be something that really strikes in there and affects people. Okay, keep stacking. I have a verse that is really good, y'all. It is a good one. I think it's going to encourage a lot of folks. All right. This is from John, from the words of Jesus. This is John chapter 16, verse 33. Says, I have said these things to you that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. This is when Jesus was talking to his disciples. And what he's saying is, you can have peace through me. You will have trouble. We will have trouble in this world. And we've seen it, and we will keep experiencing it. However, we have peace through Jesus Christ, and we have ultimately, he is our Savior, and he will save us in the end, and we have the opportunity to have everlasting life and live with him. Think about that. Our Savior, our ultimate advocate, our King, true King. So let's keep that in mind. I hope that is helpful. Share your thoughts. Share your thoughts on what you think could be an event or something that really comes up on us. Because I see it on, it could be several things. But again, let's keep preparing, especially spiritually. All right, that's number one. All right, let's take care and let's be safe. God bless you. I'll see you soon.